There's a moment every performer learns to love, the roar of a crowd. Thousands of strangers, unified by the same song, the same joke, the same story. But sometimes admiration curdles. Sometimes a fan doesn't want your art. They want you. Tonight's episode is a top 10 countdown of cases where obsession crossed the line, from creepy coincidences to plans that were already in motion. No gore, no shock for shock's sake, just the slow, unsettling truth of what happens when a stranger decides you belong to them. I'm your narrator. Lights down, volume low. Let's begin. Number 10. The predominating emoji. It started with a comment, just a single emoji on every upload. A blue heart, always at 2:11 a.m., like clockwork. At first, the creator laughed about it. A harmless superfan, a cute routine. Then the blue heart appeared on a different platform, under a photo that wasn't public. And after that, in an email sent to the creator's private address. The message was short. I found you because you answered me. The creator checked their settings, changed passwords, upgraded security, and watched the blue heart keep arriving at 2:11 a.m. 3 weeks later, a neighbor called. Someone had been standing outside the building at exactly 2:11, looking up at the creator's window and holding a phone. Police traced the account through a chain of burner emails. The trail ended in a library. Security footage showed a figure in a hoodie, sitting at the same computer each night. Not typing fast, not frantic. Calm, patient. Like they weren't chasing the creator. Like they'd already arrived. Number 9. The VIP bracelet. A touring singer noticed the same wristband in every restricted area. Different colors each time. Always VIP. Always on a person who moved like they belonged. At first, staff assumed it was a promoter's guest. Then a security guard flagged it. The wristband code was wrong. The laminate was slightly off. The print, too clean. They pulled camera footage and found the intruder's trick. They weren't sneaking past security. They were walking in with the crew, matching their pace, carrying a coiled cable, wearing a headset. The fake fan had studied the tour like a job. What doors opened when the bus arrived? Which hallway led to dressing rooms? When the guards rotated? Then, in a small city between two major dates, a stagehand didn't show up for call time. Hours later, he was found in his car, parked behind the venue. No robbery, no random violence, just a single item placed on his chest. A pristine VIP bracelet. The singer's manager realized the truth. Someone wasn't trying to meet the star. They were trying to become necessary. And if you became an obstacle, you got replaced. Number 8, the editor. A YouTuber hired a fan as an editor because the fan was talented and consistent. They'd been emailing for 2 years. Helpful notes, clean thumbnails, respectful compliments. It felt safe. The first month went great. The edits were sharp. The pacing improved. Watch time went up. Then the hidden messages started. A single frame tucked between cuts. A street sign near the creator's home. A faint whisper layered under background music. The creator's middle name. A mistake in the captions that spelled out, I know when you sleep. The creator confronted the editor. The editor apologized, claimed it was a prank, said they'd stop. And they did, on the videos. But the creator's laptop began glitching. New folders appeared, archive, maps, schedule. Inside were screenshots of private calendars, GPS pins, and a spreadsheet titled Closeness, with columns labeled Response Time, Gratitude, Loyalty. When the creator tried to fire the editor sent one message: You can't. I'm part of you now. The police called it cyber stalking, but the creator called it something worse. A stranger who didn't just watch their life, a stranger who had started managing it. Number 7, autograph line. A basketball star did what he always did. Signed autographs after the game. Kids, parents, jerseys, posters, and one fan who always stayed until the end. He never asked for extra, never pushed, never spoke loudly. He just waited and watched and smiled like he already knew the outcome. After the 5th time, the star finally asked his name. The fan answered softly, You'll remember. 2 weeks later, a teammate missed practice. then missed a flight, then missed 2 calls from the coach. Police found the teammate's apartment unlocked and empty. No struggle, no forced entry. On the kitchen table sat a signed jersey. The ink was still fresh, and beneath the signature, a note. "Thank you for your time." Security reviewed footage from the arena. The quiet fan had been there again, but this time, he wasn't last in line. He was waiting near the tunnel, wearing a staff badge that belonged to someone else. The investigators realized what terrified them most. The fan didn't want memorabilia. He wanted leverage, and he'd chosen the only currency he thought mattered: the people around the star. Number 6, meet and greet. SFX, camera shutter. Crowd cheers, a marker squeaks. The photo was harmless: a singer, a fan, a quick smile, a charity meet and greet. But online, the fan posted it like a wedding portrait. Captioned, "Proof." At first, it was cringe. Comments and edits, romantic music, fake captions. Then it became a story. The fan began uploading memories that never happened. Our secret dinner. Our late night call. The promise you made. When the singer's team issued a quiet takedown, the fan escalated. They started sending DMs to other fans. "He's mine. Don't get in the way." Tour security got involved when a package arrived at the venue. Inside was a handcrafted bracelet, braided with strands of hair, along with a note, "Wear it on stage so they know." The singer refused. That night, during the encore, a spotlight operator noticed movement at the barricade. A fan in a hoodie pushed forward, not to get closer, but to get through. Security tackled them just as they reached the stage stairs. In their pocket, a printed schedule, with one line highlighted, "Encore, lights down." The singer finished the show, but afterward, backstage was silent, because everyone understood how small the difference was between a fan and a plan. Number 5, the replica partner. A movie actor's partner noticed it first. A stranger on social media wearing the same coat, then the same haircut, then the same jewelry. At first it was imitation, annoying but common. Then it turned into replacement. The stranger began posting photos outside the actor's favorite cafe, tagging the location in real time. Then photos of the actor's dog, taken from inside the fenced yard. When the partner confronted the actor, he shrugged. "It's a fan," he said. "They copy everybody." Until the partner found a note under their windshield wiper. "I'm practicing. You don't fit the role." The next week, the actor's partner started receiving deliveries. Same flowers, same chocolates, same card. Always unsigned. Always sent to the partner. Like an insult, not a gift. Finally, a security check revealed a spare key missing. Not stolen in a break-in. Borrowed quietly during a home repair appointment. And the most chilling discovery wasn't what was taken. It was what was left behind. A neatly folded outfit on the bed. The partner's exact size. With a sticky note that read, "This is the version of me you'll love." Number 4, the apartment across the street. SFX. Distant traffic. Elevator ding. Door lock clicks. A streamer moved into a secure condo after being doxxed. Fob access, cameras, concierge. The kind of place that promised safety with polished floors and quiet rules. Then, the streamer noticed the apartment across the street. Always dark. Except for one window. A faint rectangle of light that flicked on whenever the streamer went live. At first, it felt like paranoia, until a viewer typed in chat, "Who's in the other window?" The streamer rewound the footage. In the reflection behind them, a silhouette moved. Not in their apartment, but in the dark window across the street. Building management insisted the unit was vacant. No lease, no utilities, no owner in the records. But late one night, the concierge called. Someone had been seen entering the building wearing a maintenance uniform. No request on file. The streamer installed a door camera. At 3:03 a.m., it captured a gloved hand pressing a note to the lens. Close enough to blur the paper's edges. But the words were clear. "Turn off the lights! I can't see you!" Police later found the vacant unit. Inside, a chair placed perfectly at the window, and a notebook filled with timestamps. Every live stream, every late-night snack run, every moment the streamer thought they were alone. Number 3, The fan club cult. It began as a private fan community, an inner circle for an indie singer's biggest supporters. Exclusive streams, early merch, private chats. Then the challenges started. Small at first. Post a photo with the singer's logo. Skip sleep to join a live. Prove you're real. The admin, anonymous, charismatic, said devotion was a ladder. Climb high enough and you'd be chosen. Members competed. They isolated from friends who didn't understand. They spent money they didn't have. They followed instructions that grew darker. Show up at this location at this time. Don't tell anyone. Wear black. And that the singer didn't run the group, but their name was the bait. One night, the admin hosted a live stream. Their voice sounded calm, almost tender. They said the singer had been taken by a corrupt world, and the group needed to free them. Then the live stream ended, and the admin account vanished. When police dug into the server logs, they found the truth. The challenges weren't fandom. They were training, testing obedience, filtering for the people who would do anything, not for the singer, but for the feeling of belonging to something terrifyingly certain. Number 2, signed in blood. A stand-up comedian was used to hecklers and trolls. But this was different. Fan mail arrived daily, handwritten letters, drawings, even poems. One envelope was heavier than the rest. Inside was a contract printed on thick parchment paper. At the bottom, a signature line already filled in with dark red ink that looked too real. The contract demanded exclusivity. No jokes about love, no dating, no betraying the fan base. And one final clause. If you break this agreement, I will collect damages. The comedian showed it to friends as a creepy souvenir. Then on stage, he joked about it. The crowd laughed. And somewhere in that crowd, someone didn't. Within days, people close to him started receiving threats. His opener got a call. Heavy breathing, then a whispered address. His tour manager found their tires sliced, with a note that read, damages. Police traced the letters to a post office box, rented under a false name. Inside the box, they found more contracts, more signatures, and a list of names, not just the comedians. The most chilling part? Every contract had a blank line under the signature labeled witness, as if the fan wasn't just obsessed, they were building a case. Number 1, the front row phantom. The pop star noticed him in Chicago, front row, still, smiling without moving. A face you couldn't forget because it never changed. 2 nights later, New York. Same front row spot. Same expression. The star asked security if it was the same guy. Security shrugged. Lots of fans travel. But the third time, Miami. The star felt something cold settle into his stomach. Because the fan wasn't singing, wasn't filming, wasn't even blinking much. After the show, the star found a gift in his dressing room. No one admitted bringing it. It was a tour book, every city, every date. And on the final page, a message written in careful, neat handwriting. I will be where you are. That's what love means. The star demanded a full security sweep. They checked badges, entrances, staff lists, nothing. Until a guard noticed something small on the fan's wrist in footage, a backstage laminate. The laminate design was 2 years out of date. Yet the scanner beeped green. They traced the code to a credential printer stolen from a venue months earlier. Then they found a storage unit rented under a fake identity. Inside, a wardrobe of crew clothing, a binder of floor plans, and a handwritten note titled, How to Meet Him Without Asking. The arrest happened quietly before the next show. But what haunted the star wasn't the plan, it was the patience. Because the fan hadn't been chasing the tour, the fan had been following the star's life. For so long that the tour was just the first time. The star finally noticed. Most fans are just people. People who find comfort in a voice, a story, a song. But obsession doesn't start as a monster. It starts as permission. A small belief that because you were seen, you're owed something back. If you enjoyed this countdown, you can support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. And if you want a part 2, 10 more stories about fame, fixation, and the people who slip through the cracks, leave a comment with the word Phantom.